Okay, imagine this. You're walking on a boat and somehow this boat flips, sinking hundreds of feet underneath the water. But somehow you survive for 3 whole days. That is the story of this guy right here, Harrison Okene, who put one of the craziest survivor stories you will ever hear in this century. Grab your snacks, whatever it is. Let's dive into it. So it's May 2013 off the coast of Nigeria, right? So Harrison, a pretty regular dude, he wakes up in the morning, like, just doing his regular stuff. And by the way, he's 29 years, right? He's working on this boat as a cook. So he wakes up doing his normal routine, pretty normal morning, nothing serious, like just, said his prayers, say getting ready to prepare the meals, the breakfast for the rest of the crew. But then something happened. A big wave slammed into their boat, flipping it upside down, and the Atlantic Ocean swallowed them whole. All of them, the whole boat, everybody, including Mr. Harrison himself. So when this happened, right, there were 12 people on this ship, including Mr. Harrison himself. But somehow he got slammed on the wall, moved around the ship like a socks in a washing machine. He moved everywhere and ended up in the bathroom, which turned out to be the safest spot in this boat. So next time when you're on a sinking ship, find your way to the bathroom. Try as much as you can because apparently that's the safest. So anyways, the boat hits the ocean 30 meters deep on the floor of the ocean, right? Everyone's gone silent except for Mr. Harrison, not so regular dude. Anyways, Harrison is like moving around, like trying to swim, looking for a way out, but it's so dark. And then he realized, why am I still breathing? Why am I able to breathe underwater? Am I a mermaid? Dude was not a mermaid or a merman, right? He had just found himself in an air pocket, right? So basically, it's just a little bubble of oxygen trapped underneath the wreckage. So that was where he was. So Harrison was able to climb onto the surface, or he found the platform, right, in this pitch black air bubble thing. He found the platform where he was able to climb onto, right? So half of his body was still submerged into the water and the other half was above. Here he was chilling with the fishes, right? So here he is, right? No food, just one bottle of Coke, and everywhere is pitch black. He's not able to see anything apart from hearing some bombs and things like fishes slamming into the hull. Now, fun fact, some of those fishes were actually eating his crew members. Let that sink in. I still will eat some of those fishes too. So Harrison has been stuck here now for hours, and hours has turned into days, right? And the air is starting to thin out. His skin is falling off because of the salt water, and he's becoming delirious, right? So he's doing everything to keep himself awake. He's singing, praying, trying to talk to God, talk to himself, and everything just to stay awake. At some point, he said, I was so hungry, but the fear was worse than the hunger. Which, I understand him because I get nervous just waiting for my Uber Eats driver to find my house. Took more or less getting trapped underneath water for 60 hours, no food, no water. On the third day, right, Harrison hears a banging sound and he's like, okay, am I losing my mind? Because what the heck, I'm underneath the water, so why am I hearing banging sound? But then he sees divers and he sees them and he sees light, right? He sees light first and he sees a diver. It's like, but the divers were not there to save anyone. They were there to recover bodies because, it's been 3 days, so they are there to just recover the bodies of people that has gone. So one diver just moving around with his flashlight, trying to recover bodies, just doing his job, and then he sees a hand, right? A hand in this water, and then he's like, oh, let me take this body. And then the hand holds him back, like, just grab onto him back, and he's about to poop himself because what the heck? Why is this hand holding me back? No, but it was Mr. Harrison, right? Harrison held onto him, and the diver was just shocked to find another living person in this ship filled with cups. So once they realize he's alive, right, so they had to, the whole team goes nuts, right, because now they are rescuing somebody. They're no longer recovering cups, they are rescuing. So he gets a diving helmet, fresh air and everything. They had to bring him up slowly to the surface because His blood will literally boil because he'd been down there under pressure for so long, and he had to spend 2 whole days in a decompression chamber just so it to be safe for him to come out. And finally when he emerged, right, he was the only survivor aboard that 12-man vessel. So Harrison later said the only thing that kept him going was the thought of his wife and prayers, and he made a promise to himself, like beneath the sea, that if he ever survived, he would never walk at sea again. And he's kept that promise since then. And yeah, I don't really blame you, dude. Yeah, but still, surviving 3 whole days with no food, total darkness, no hope, that's not luck. That's total willpower on a different level. So next time your wifey goes out for 5 minutes or even 1 hour, remember Harrison, the guy who lived underwater for 3 whole days and walked away to tell the story. Respect, dude. Guys, please do not forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you on my next one. Bye.